Harry Redknapp. He managed over 600 Premier League games, and he joins us now. Good morning, Harry.
Very good morning, Harry.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, guys.
How are
Morning,
you?
Gaffer.
All good. Yes, thanks, Laura. Yeah.
Oh, good. Listen, it's lovely to have you on this morning. Of course, you've become synonymous with transfer deadline day every year. It's wonderful to talk to you about this. I just wondered what your memories are, the standout memories for you on this day, in this one, January.
Well, it's always a difficult window, Laura. You know, you hope you always I always seem to be at clubs that were struggling and needing a couple of players in to either get you out of trouble or whatever. So, you know, sometimes you struck lucky and you got one or two in that made the difference. Especially probably when I was at Portsmouth. You know, I took 3 lads from Tottenham. I went and did it down to Tottenham and took Pedro Mendes and Sean Davis and Noe Pamero. You know, I probably only went there actually to sign one of them, but Daniel did a buy one, get 2 free deal with it.
Do you know what, actually, Harry, in terms of how important the January transfer window can be, because, you know, sometimes we say, it can be a bit boring, a bit dull, but it can be crucial as well, because didn't you get Jamie O'Hara out on loan in January once?
Oh, no, I don't know, Jamie, did I?
Yeah, you've been me a couple of times, actually, Gaffer.
Harry, I've got to say, Harry, the first thing that surprised me was that it was just a loan deal, mate.
He sold me as well. He sold me as well. To Wolves, he went, I've had enough.
Jamie could play. Jamie could play.
Harry, tell me, where's the balance? Because we've been obviously speaking about it all morning. From a manager's point of view, you're desperate to get players in, and indeed you want to get some moved out as well. Where does the balance come before it becomes a little bit panicky?
Well, I do think that at times we do panic when you're stuck down there, Ali. You know, you've been there, managed yourself, obviously, as well. And, you know, when you're down in that bottom 3, bottom 4, and you're looking at it, you think we need reinforcements. Obviously, they're not there because they're good enough. They're there because they're not good enough. So, and you need to make some changes. So you do tend to maybe, it is a panic station deal, you know, where you are looking at the last minute, see what you can bring in. But, you know, you look at the moment, look at Newcastle, they've got the resources to go out there, strengthening. They're going to be, you'd be really surprised if they still went down. You know, if you're one of the other teams there who haven't got the resources they've got, like Burnley and that, you might think, oh my God, no, you know, another signing they've made. So it's a difficult time, really, as a manager.
Harry, talk me through what it's like being in the office at that time. You know, I always remember, and I miss the days of when you'd come out, you'd wind the window down in the Range Rover, have a little chat. It doesn't feel like it's that anymore. But talk us through like what it was like in the office in them final hours.
Well, as I say, James, you know, you're always trying to strengthen your squad because you're stuck in a relegation battle or whatever. You know, say the one where I went back to Portsmouth. You know, I went back there and I'd left Southampton, gone back to Portsmouth. They were bottom of the league, and all the good players that I'd had when I left there 18 months, 2 years earlier, had all been bombed out, and they really had a very, very poor team that certainly weren't going to stay up. So I had to do something, and it was taking 3 lads from Tottenham who improved my team massively. You know, getting a boy from Argentina, D'Alessandro, who was a little genius, and getting him on loan from Wolfsburg was an amazing deal for us, you know. And we just struck lucky, and then players changed it. Listen, good players. The game's not changed, lads, as you know. You need good players. It ain't, you know, no one's clever enough to walk in there. All right, I'm sure Roy's going to improve Watford because, you know, he'll get them organised and whatever. But, you know, he needs 1 or 2 players fit who have been injured. You need good players. He needs maybe to get one in today that might strengthen the squad. So that's what you need to do. If you think you're going to go in there and you're going to just suddenly be a super coach who's going to turn a team that haven't won a game for about 20 odd games into a team that's going to start winning, I think you're dreaming in most cases.
Speaking of that, Frank, your nephew, he's gone to Everton. We think he might be unveiled today as their new manager. How delighted is he to get that job?
Yeah, obviously, great job for him. Great club. Yeah, a club with... I always, you know, you go around and I know people say it's a proper football club. That's how I've always felt about Everton. You know, I've been around a long time and I'm a traditionalist, and the history of the club. I still look back to the great days of that football club. You know, I remember seeing the FA Cup final when they beat Sheffield Wednesday. You know, and then I remember the great, you know, the midfield that Kendall, Harvey and Ball, you know, one of the all-time great midfields we've ever seen in football. And then the team that evolved after that and won the title, and with great teams under Howard Kendall and the great characters. So it's a great club for Frank to go to. He's got a lot of work to do. I think they've recruited badly. That is the area, that is the key. They need to recruit. He needs to make sure they get some better players in.
Harry, one of the great stories already to come out of this particular window, I'm sure you're as delighted as we are, Erickson, going to great story, mate, isn't it?
Great story, Ali, you know, great footballer, and it's just wonderful to see that he's able, my God, we never forget that day, will we?
No.
During the Euros, and to see him back now fit and ready to play for Brentford, just is wonderful news. It really is a great story.
Harry, I was going to ask you just briefly, what's it like when you like Dean Smith, for example, and you mentioned Roy, and all of a sudden you're looking across to Newcastle, who are your relegation rivals, and they've got a few quid and they're bringing this one and that one in. There's an element of panic set in, or you just got to concentrate on your own job?
Well, you've got to concentrate on your own job, Ali, but you're thinking, oh my God, they're fine. You know, they're good players. When you see Trippier come, and then the big boy Woods is going to improve them, and now they're signing another couple of big superstars from wherever today they're going to bring in. Yeah, it does make you think, well, it's going to be even more difficult now, you know, so it's not a good situation. You're happier when this deal's fallen through at Newcastle. You know, so it's going to be tough, but it's going to be tight down now. Listen, Everton, even Frank knows he needs some results. They're sucked into it for sure. Whether he can get, he's getting the boy from Man United hopefully today, and his career needs resurrected. He's had a poor time at Man United, never played, probably confidence low, but there's a footballer there. We saw him before he came over. Ajax, he can really play. So it's up to Frank now to get the best out of him. He's been linked with Dele Alli. I mean, I'd love to see him take Dele Alli and turn his career around again, because he's a great talent in someone somewhere, and Dele Alli also need to do something and get him back on track, because there is a great player in there somewhere, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Lovely to speak to you, Harry. Thanks for coming on.
Have a great day, mate.
Guys, have a great day.
Take care. Have a wonderful day.
All the best.
Okay, so Frank Lampard's first game in charge of Everton. It's going to be live on talkSPORT 2 this Saturday. It's Everton against Brentford in the FA Cup 4th round, and it's at 3:00.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.